من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We were on Al-Muhaymin. So also if you just imagine or try to imagine drowning. Drowning, how does it take place? Drowning, it takes place when the water becomes overwhelming over yourself. And it goes inside your mouth, it goes inside your ears, everywhere. Any hole that it finds, it enters and it penetrates. And you physically fight against the waves, against the currents. And then you become exhausted, and then the water goes inside you more and more and more, until you are unable to breathe. Yeah? This is when there's some sort of intentional, or there's some sort of intentional protection from drowning. So you yourself take precautions in order for you not to drown. Yeah? And Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala isn't intentionally willing to drown you. So in other words, you can call it accidental drowning. Yeah? But what if when Jalla wa Ala is intentionally wants to drown you and wants to give you death through drowning? Yeah? So even if, for example, the horses which they are on, and some of the items they were on, I'm sure they are able to float, but did they help? And notice also when Allah talks about the way Allah punished Fir'aun and his regime, Allah speaks in such a way that no fish was harmed. No fish was harmed whatsoever. Yeah, no fish was harmed, but every single of the soldiers were completely perished. And they perished in the sea. Each one of them perished in the sea. And Jalla wa Ala made sure that the Fir'aun was the last one to perish. So each of his soldiers, one by one, he saw them finishing off, drowning. So each water, each wave, each current was intentional and willed by Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? Does it mean the soldiers didn't fight to go to the shore? They did not try to fight it? Of course they were trying to fight it. But he was pulling them down. He was taking them back to the sea. And the arrogance of Fir'aun didn't allow him to believe that this huge sea opened up from Jalla wa Ala, by Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what made that arrogance change within half an hour? What made the arrogance change? It was Jalla wa Ala definitely showing him that this is coming from myself. Yeah. So this is how punishment takes place. This is how trials also take place. All of us Muslims, when we go through trials, we think, ya subhanallah, why trial after trial? But without these trials, you cannot witness Allah. You cannot witness Allah. You cannot witness Him in your delights and pleasures and joys, because you're in a buzzing mood. Yeah. So Allah has to give you those trials, and then you, through Him and by Him, attain the relief and delights and pleasures, and then you witness Him. That's how you witness Him. Then Jalla wa Ala talks about His other names and attributes, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir, Do you know the ajib thing is, right? Jabbar Mutakabbir has hardly manifested upon the surface of the earth. Hardly manifested. Yeah? They will manifest, Al-Qahar, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir will manifest in Akhirah life. For eternity for the non-Muslims. So it is our duty to really, those who are able to give da'wah to non-Muslims, we ought to do, because they are unaware of the wrath that's waiting for them because of them not taking the necessary means. Yeah, and we are negligent, no doubt about it. We are very negligent when it comes to actual true da'wah to the non-Muslims regarding who Allah Jalla wa Ala is, what He does, why He does, and how He does. Those four matters. Who Jalla wa Ala is as a being, who He is as a being. Not the fairy tale notions they have of Father or the Lord or whoever. Nor also the notions we Muslims have of abstract being, or a being who has these attributes. He gives life, He gives death, and the general understandings, without the real depth of the substance of Jalla wa Ala, who He is, as He has related and narrated and revealed in His wahy. Yeah. Subhanallah amma yushrikun. See, Subhanallah amma yushrikun, Jalla wa Ala is saying, because most people, they do not seek other beings in ease, they seek other beings in difficulty and trials and tribulations, because the essence of life, as I said so many times, is trials and tribulations. That's the essence of life. Whether you live short period of time or long period of time, the essence of life is trials and tribulations. Listen to the khutbah that we gave in Masjid Tarbiyah. It's an audio file. Yeah. So the essence of life is trials and tribulations. So people associate part of Jalla wa Ala in seeking relief, in seeking aid, in seeking help. Why is Allah Jalla wa Ala amazed by that? He's amazed by that because ultimately He is the one who gives them the relief. Yeah, He's the one who gives them the relief. So even though they're committing shirk, yet He gives the relief, He gives the ease, He gives the peace, He gives the security and safety. Some of them know that, and they call Him, and He gives it, and then they commit shirk again with Him Jalla wa Ala in those matters. Obviously, ultimately it comes from the soul and the heart and the mind before it's upon the limbs and before it's upon the tongues. Another thing I want to make it clear, whenever Jalla talk about dua, we say they commit dua, they do dua to so and so and so and so. Dua doesn't only mean the utterance of the tongue. Dua doesn't only mean raising of their hands. Dua means the realities of the heart and its yearnings. Dua doesn't mean the utterance of the tongue. Dua doesn't only mean raising of the hands. Dua means is the reality of the heart, its ultimate reality, how it is, where it's calling, who is it asking, who is it requesting, what is its yearning, who is the sought, who is the source in the heart. In other words, ultimately you as a being, who do you seek ultimately? And then, not only that, it doesn't stop there. Who do you then ultimately believe that can actually give you the relief without the cause and effect? So just by seeking doesn't mean you are a believer. Just by also believing that He will relieve you doesn't mean also you're a believer. Not necessarily. The reality of the heart has to be there, that the giver of the relief is Allah Jalla wa Ala. He's the one I'm seeking. He can also replace it, and He is always there to do the same thing, and no one has share therein. That is a true believer. He is a true believer. It's a constant affirmation of the heart. It's the constant acceptance of that reality. It's not only in that circumstance or only in that context. La, it's always there. So it's not dua, as many people when they translate these verses, they think it's only dua, calling upon so and so. La, it's not raising your hands and utterance. It's the reality of the heart. The utterance just manifested, simply manifested. The context and circumstance simply manifested the reality of the heart. But the Muslims, us, we always have the reality that whatever difficulties and challenges and trials and tribulations coming from Allah ultimately, and He's the one ultimately who relieves it without cause and effect, if He wishes to, if He wills it. The ultimate belief has to be there. If the ultimate belief isn't there, then we will be living our lives subconsciously and even consciously like some non-Muslims. Like some non-Muslims. Even though we are Muslims in reality. Yeah. That's why I keep saying Allah is not contextual, nor is it circumstantial. Yeah. About our belief isn't contextual, nor is it circumstantial. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Subhanallah amma yushrikun. Remember, he says about how they commit shirk, because there is no shirk in the first place. Whenever he talks about a shirk, he attributes it to us, because in reality there is no shirk. Is that clear? In reality there is no one can associate in those matters in reality. So we are committing a shirk. So that's why Jalla wa'ala is amazed by it. Because in reality, the whole reality of the whole existence, there is no shirk. No one associates with Jalla wa'ala in any way. There is no share therein in any way whatsoever. So it's a delusion, it's an assumption, it's superstitious. It's nothing but a simple illusion. That's it. Yeah? As subhanallah amma yushrikun, the reality is, everything goes on praising Jalla wa'ala. The reality is, everything glorifies and exalts Jalla wa'ala. Who He is, what He does, why He does, how He does. All four stages. Who He is, what He does, why He does, how He does. All four stages. Creations are praising Jalla wa'ala, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and amazed by Him. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. These are long, I can't explain them in detail. Yeah, very short. Jalla wa'ala brings us back to the reality of He Jalla wa'ala is the one who brought us from nothing. Now, how loving He is. Here Jalla is defining Himself, identifying Himself to the whole creation. In His final revelation, that He's talking to the whole humanity at large. He begins by talking about how that Jalla wa'ala, if He was to reveal this Quran to the mountain, it will become dust, because how the Quran moves people, how Jalla wa'ala's revelation moves things. It can move a mountain, strong, hard, rock mountain. It can move us. Doesn't matter how hard and rock our hearts become. Then Jalla wa'ala talks about even if your heart becomes that hard rock that the Quran can't even move you, then there's Allah. So it's a theme of love, it's a theme of care, it's a theme of protection, it's a theme of wanting the utmost delightful realities for you. It's a theme of so, like there's no other verse that Allah talks about himself in so much in a condensed manner, with so much care and love and appreciating what he wants for you. Yeah, there's no, and obviously I don't have time to go in detail, but in very short, that's the theme. So he's referring, saying, Khalas, if the Quran doesn't work for you, come to me. Come to who I am. Come to who I am. Reflect on me. Tadabbur on me. Go find out about me. Find out about me, who I am, what I'm doing into your life, what I want in your life, what I want for you in the Akhirah. Find out from me. So Allah then says, Huwa Allahu al-Khaliq. Remember, He's the one who brought you into existence. Your soul, your mind, your senses, your limbs. He's the one buried. He's the one who fashioned you. He's the one who made you exist from nothing to something, and then from something to living. Bari is when you become alive. Bari is when you become alive. So Khaliq is the existence, then you become alive. And then Musawwir, He then fashioned you. Fashioned you, as we spoke about Badi' last lesson. Badi' is fashioned you so unique, different from anyone. So in order for you, Uthman, to be different from everyone else, Allah had to focus on you such uniquely that He had to focus everything that came before you, everything that will come after you, and then He had to make you, Uthman, according to the whole entire knowledge of He, which is even the impossibilities. Even the impossibilities, as we said, He knows how it will exist. So even that He had to take into consideration in order to make you unique from the rest of His eternal knowledge. That is how much care and love He put in you. Yeah? And then He ends up by saying what? He ends up saying, Lahul Asma'ul Husna. He only mentioned the three names, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Al-Musawwir, just to indicate how much love and care and attention He had to give to you in order for you to be who you are now. And then He says, Lahul Asma'ul Husna. Go and check out all of His other names and attributes that He manifested on you, and He still continues to manifest on you. Go and check them out. Yeah. يُسَبِّحُ لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. If you don't like Him, the heavens and the earth glorify Him and love Him to bits because of who He is and what He does. So you're bound to love Him. You're bound to love Him. You're bound to then yearning, in a yearning manner, exalt Him, Jalla wa Ala, subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. And if He does something that you don't like, then no doubt He does it with supreme wisdom. There's a supreme wisdom behind it when He does things that you don't like. And no doubt that supreme wisdom is nothing but khair for you. A khair that is eternal. Okay, let's move on quickly to the next surah, Surah Ikhlas. Allah says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Now this surah, it is the shortest, one of the shortest surah in the Quran, but it is the out of all the verses that defines Jalla wa Ala and identifies Him, out of all the verses and surahs, is this surah. It identifies Him as a being first and foremost. There is no other surah, there is no other verse that identifies Him as a being than this surah. And as we said, every time Allah says a question, قُل or awalam or alam, He asks a question like that. He wants you as an individual to process it and answer it from your heart and soul and mind and not for someone else to answer it for you. Say that one more time. When Allah Jalla wa Ala says قُل or awalam or alam, and ask questions like that, yeah, Jalla wa Ala wants you to process it by your mind, with your soul and with your heart, and then for you to answer it, whatever the answer may be. He doesn't want someone else to answer it for you. Let me not say most. A lot of Muslims answer their belief by somebody else, not by themselves. A lot of Muslims answer their belief by somebody else and not by themselves. Allah doesn't want that. And that's why I keep saying we are subconscious Muslims or we are not conscious Muslims. Yeah? And that's how we have what we have in our lives. The difficulties and trials and tribulations that we can overcome, or we want others to overcome it for us. Roles and responsibilities we can fulfill, or we want others to fulfill for us. Sacrifices we can make, but we want others to make it for us. Places we can donate and help and aid, but we want others to do it for us. This is subconscious Muslim, not conscious Muslim. That's the reality. That's the consequences. Yeah? So, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say who He, Allah Jalla wa Ala, is one and only and unique. Now, what Jalla wa Ala is saying in the crunch in this verse is you, whoever you are, you, take the answer of what Jalla was saying. He is one and only. Now you find out within your research. Is Allah one and only? Is a being like Him ever other than Him? Was there any being other than Him? Is there any being other than Him? Is there another being like Him? You now go, Allah has affirmed that for you. Now you go research it, find out, read, live your life, find that reality. Find that reality. Now I didn't say قُلْ هُوَ أَحَدٌ. He left it in the middle, Allahu أَحَدٌ. That the being whom ultimately everything yearns for, you yearn for, the supreme being, ultimately whatever you believe in Him, call Him this, call Him that, doesn't matter. But ultimately the supreme being of over everything, He is unique. He is one and only. There's nothing like Him. There's nothing that can be like Him. Your whole life's journey is about that. If you can answer that by yourself alone, you process it, you find out, you research it, you answer by saying, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. What do you say? You answer it by saying, نعم هو الله أحد. Yes, Allah Jalla wa Ala is Ahad. But you answer with your reality. With your reality, with your heart, with your mind, with your soul, with your tongue, with your du'as, with your yearnings, with your fears and hopes. Once you do that, you'll become a conscious Muslim. Allah Samad. As we said so many times before, As-Samad is the most comprehensive attribute Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala has when it comes to His identity as being unique by Himself. So Rabb is comprehensive in terms of what He does to the creation is unique. That's Rabb. When it comes to Ahad, when it comes to Samad, it is who Allah Jalla wa Ala as a being is in terms of independency and uniqueness. It's the most comprehensive name and attribute that defines Him being unique and independent. So now you go and find out, you research and search. You know all the questions of doubts that come in. This one verse answers that. Allah Samad. All the doubts you have, all the doubts, this one answers it. Allah Samad. He is in no need of you. He is independent of the whole creation. All the arrogance, all the pride, all the stubbornness, all the kufr, all the shirk, all the sins. Allahu Samad. Allahu Samad. Yeah? The more you reflect, the more you go dig deep on that, right? As I said, the questions of why worship Allah. That question, there's like, as I said, there's like thousands of answers you can give. But in summary, one answers it. Allahu Samad. As simple as that. Allah doesn't need your worship. He doesn't care about your worship. And He doesn't care about you calling Him or not calling Him. He doesn't care. There is no need for you to survive. If you want to die, you can die. Free will, free choice is given that to you. It's completely free is given that to you. If you want to cause death to yourself, you can. If you don't want to live this life, you can go away, you can go away. No problem. He's given that choice to you, Allah Samad. He's completely independent from the creation. He's completely also unique. But know that whatever He does, whatever Allah Jalla wa Ala does, He does out of care and love towards you. Whatever He does to the creation, He does out of care and love towards you. That's why Jalla wa Ala again He said, Allahu Samad. He makes sure that He mentions His name, Allah Jalla wa Ala, subhanAllah. That is the most caring, loving name for any of His creation. And then He defines more of the Samadiyya. He basically say, Lam yalid, wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Let me just summarize 3 points here. 3 points I'll give you in that. The first point is that He is identifying who He is as a being, His essence. Second, He's identifying what He does for you, irrespective of whether you appreciate Him or not, acknowledge Him or not, believe in Him or disbelieve in Him or not. So you're alive because of He. You exist because of He. You eat and drink because of He. You even commit sins ultimately because of He. You find pleasures therein, is ultimately because He created the pleasures. It's nobody else. I can remember once I said to one individual, he said he wanted to kill himself, and he keeps saying it. I looked at him and I said, Khalas, go and kill yourself. Obviously, it's like, obviously I see people every day, all crazy lots. Joking. So I said to him, go and kill yourself. And he looked at me thinking, what are you saying? I go, La Khalas. And he was on the street as well. I go, the car's coming. Go and kill yourself. And looks at me thinking, are you serious, Shaykh? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. No, you're driving me crazy every day saying you're going to kill yourself. Why don't you kill yourself? Go and kill yourself. Obviously, he doesn't. And then I say to him, if you will not kill yourself, stop saying you're going to kill yourself. And subhanAllah, at that point, it cured him. That was it. That one incident cured him completely. So, these are doubts. These are doubts of underlying doubts that you don't want to exist, you don't want to live. But the reality is you do want to exist and you do want to live. Allah knows us. Allah knows us as creation. Yeah. So Jalla wa Ala, subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's doing everything for us. And He lets us know. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. It's our second point. That your parents, you're this, you're that, all of this is from me. Everything you have is from me. Whether you believe in me or not, whether you come kufr with me, doesn't matter. It's from me. Third point, you will return to him. Again, same. Believe him, disbelieve him, obey him, disobey him, agree with him, disagree with him, sue him. Doesn't matter. Yeah? You return him back to him. You're not arguing with him, no problem. That's a reality. Yeah? These 3 points Jalla wa Ala is making in Surah Ikhlas. That the reality is this. He is who he is, that's a reality. You are who you are, that's your reality. And he will be who he is, that's the reality. Simple. Allah Jalla wa Ala, but it's in Samad. Yeah? Anytime you have any doubt, you say Qul Huwallahu Ahad, but recite it and then reflect on it. Anytime you have any doubt, recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad and then reflect on it. Now, as we said, there's nothing wrong of asking hard questions as long as you ask the hard questions through the wahi. There's nothing wrong. Ask the questions through the wahi. You'll find the answers. You'll find the soothing and the serenity. Ayat al-Kursi, I've got next week, alhamdulillah. So next week I'll explain Ayat al-Kursi. Again, I think Ayat al-Kursi, even though it's the greatest verse in the Quran, the greatest surah, Surah Fatiha, the greatest verse is Ayat al-Kursi. Even though it's the greatest verse, few of us really grasp this verse. So inshallah ta'ala, next week I will cover this verse and I will give you principles then to understand the rest of the verses of Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I will love to go through, and inshallah next week if I'll skip few verses and I'll go through the verse where Jalla wa Ala says, what does that mean? وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيَخْتَارُ مَا كَانَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ سُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ وَرَبُّكَ يَعْلَمُ مَا تُكِنُّ صُدُورُهُمْ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ وَهُوَ اللَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ لَهُ الْحَمْدُ فِي الْأُولَى وَالْآخِرَةِ وَلَهُ الْحُكْمُ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. That verse is one of them. Every time I recite that verse, it shakes me from the within. It shakes me from within because Jalla wa Ala, summary in translation, which I'll explain that next week. It's going to give you a summary. Jalla wa Ala says, وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah Jalla wa Ala creates whatever He wills. No one has a say therein. No one, not a single thing has a say therein. وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. He creates whatever He wills, however He wills, whenever He wills. No one has a say. Subhanallah. And then it says, وَيَخْتَارُ. He chooses. Again, no one has a say. Male, who's going to be a male, who's going to be a female. No one has a say. The origins of the creation. Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala does this. Billions of creation, no one has a say subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَا كَانَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ Subhanallah wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Ultimately, that who Jalla wa Ala is a being is left in what He does for us to witness, for us to see. And all of the crunch of what He does is left with His will. His will. And His will is so detailed. He details it throughout the Quran. His will. How He executes. When He does it. Why He does it. All of that He details it in different way. And then Jalla wa Ala says, for example, وَرَبُّكَ يَعْلَمُ مَا تُكِنُّ صُدُورُهُمْ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. Even though it talks about His overwhelming power, His overwhelming authority, His overwhelming will, yet part of that will is given to us. He says, وَرَبُّكَ يَعْلَمُ مَا تُكِنُّ صُدُورُهُمْ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. Jalla wa Ala knows what they hide in their chests and what they proclaim, what they say. Yeah. So in that there's 4 levels. What you hide, there are minimum 4 levels. What you say, there are minimum 4 levels. Yeah. All of the Jalla wa Ala says is from your free will and free choice. It's so complex. It's so wow. But Jalla wa Ala gives it to you and gives the free realm, the freedom to execute it however you will. Allah does not. Allah only creates it, He facilitates it, and then He comes in right at the end. But Allah generally facilitates it, and then He says, "Wa wallahu la ilaha illahu." Is there any other ilah other than He, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu? In reality, there's no other ilah except Him, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu. Everything returns back to Him in every wish and every good or bad. Ultimately, they will from Allah. If it's good, ultimately they will from Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it says, "Lahu alhamdu fil ula wal akhirah." For him, Jalla wa Ala, to say, "To me belongs all the ultimate praise of everything and everyone," shows that ultimately He's a being that we will, once we know Him in detail, we'll have no choice. Even if we dislike it, we'll have no choice but to say, wow, how He does things, who He is, why He does things, and how He executes it. وَلَهُ الْحَمْدُ فِي الْأُولَى وَالْآخِرَةِ وَلَهُ الْحُكْمُ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. And to Him is the ultimate judgment, and to Him is the return of every single one of you. Yeah. So subhanallah, this verse, as I said, is so profound. It's ajib. When you go in detail, you become awe. You can stand still there, and you can become awe of Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you just want to see Him. You simply want to see Him. You think, wow, who is this being? Who is this being? I want to see Him. As Rasulullah said, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. الله أكبر. And ihsan is, and we Muslims can get there. That's the most amazing thing. We human beings upon the surface of the earth, Muslims can attain ihsan. What is it? Is to stand in front of Jalla wa Ala, inwardly and outwardly, as if we can see Him. We know so much about Him in so much detail that as if we can see Him. As if we can see Him. And if you can't get to that level, then you will go to that level where you will have certainty that He is seeing you now. So somebody didn't say that He is seeing you yesterday, or He will be seeing you tomorrow. So some said, "Ubayd Allah ka'annaka tarahu, fa'in lam takun tarahu, fa'innahu yaraka." He, Allah, the being, is seeing you right now. And He's seeing you what? Just your upper surface, your physical limb. He is seeing your entire soul, your entire journey from the day you existed. He's seeing the entire journey until you become dust. And then He's seeing your entire journey, and when from the dust, you be resurrected, and He's seeing your entire life in Jannah. And everything after that, He is seeing you already. That is who Allah Jalla wa Ala is. That is who our Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Our iman, our reality is amazing. Our tawhid is amazing. Who we are as Muslims are amazing. Who we are as Christians are amazing. If you only simply dig deeper and know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that ever living eternal manner. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.